It's time for a sit down and talk. Hello, welcome to Sojo Videos. Today's video, we're gonna be talking about the mental glow up, and this is the second video in a three-part series about having a spring break glow up. I think this video might be the most important one, as we're gonna be talking about your mental well-being, staying organized, all that kind of stuff. And I wanted to add one thing. If you have any questions about topics related to this, or you were looking for some advice, or you just want to say hi, you can comment down below. I try my best to reply to comments as much as I can, and yeah, just help you guys stay motivated, feel inspired, and feel accomplished. So yeah, get ready to just sit down and chill. You know, I think everyone over the past while has been kind of in a slump. Everyone that I've talked to, they're kind of demotivated. They're not really feeling the same as before, and you know, credit to them, it's been a year since this whole pandemic thing started, since we've been stuck at home, since school, if you have school, has been online, or maybe you're not seeing your friends as often, maybe you've been quarantined in your house. I mean, for me, it's been almost a year since things were normal. Almost a full year to this day, actually, and it is crazy to think about. I feel like everyone again has been kind of in a slump, but you know, one part of this spring break glow up I really want to do is just get that mental glow up, get into that mindset, and you know, start finding motivation in things again. And like, it's not easy. It's pretty hard. It's obviously easier to say something like this, but there's a lot of work I think that goes behind it. For me personally, I've been working on myself and being able to, you know, feel good about myself mentally, feel confident, and feel motivated to do a lot of these things. I think it's nice to chat and talk about this, and maybe my own experience can help you. The first thing I want to talk about is just the importance of having a mental glow up. Obviously, my first video talked about like physically looking good, looking ready, but in reality, I think glow up starts from what's on the inside. Oh my god, that's so cheesy. Well, yeah, but it's kind of true. All these physical things, materialistic things, they're all temporary, but mentally, your mental mindset is what's most important and is, you know, the thing that actually stays. I feel like with a mental glow up comes a physical glow up, you know, like when you feel good about yourself mentally, when you're in the right mindset and the right headspace, it starts reflecting onto how you portray yourself to other people and how you act and how you see yourself. A mental glow up allows everything to move forward, and it's just taking that first step and committing and continuing that you're able to, you know, make your mental state the best it can be. With a mental glow up comes the idea of having a good mindset. I think, I don't know, proper mindset is just something that's really important. One thing I've had to work on over this quarantine is just staying positive about things. Obviously not blinded and not hiding away from the truth. Obviously the things that are happening every day are really brutal, they're quite terrible, and you know, not the best news in the world, but staying positive and setting your eyes on those future goals that you're working towards helps you keep positive about things and not lose hope. It's okay if you get lost, if you don't feel good on some days. You don't have to be like this bubbly person that's like, oh my gosh, you know, oh, that's fine. But you have to just make sure that you keep onto that hope, even in like the darkest of days. Again, it sounds cheesy, but it's definitely something that's helped me, and it's something that's really good in the long run if you're working to achieve goals, or if you're working through a really tough slump over a really long period of time. Keeping positive, it's very key to perseverance, I feel like. And I've realized like I was in like such a bad position like a few months ago, like not only with school but just mentally. I kept thinking about like what could have been and how bad I was feeling on the inside compared to before, when things were still back to normal, when things I felt like were good. And so my mind was just stuck on what used to be, and I wasn't looking forward. I wasn't paying attention to myself now. But I realized that instead of dwelling on what used to be good and, you know, a few good nights crying about what used to be, it's good to just hold on to what that felt like and knowing that it will come in the future, because it will. It might take a long time. It might take a really, really long time, but you will feel that again in the future. And you just need to believe in that. But you just have to keep working towards it. And that's obviously really, really hard, but it is something important to keep in mind. You know, you got to remember that feeling and chase it in the future. Use it as your drive to keep moving forward, staying motivated to achieve that feeling that you miss so much. There's no way we can go back to the past, so what's left is looking at the now and the future. Speaking of now and the future, one big thing I learned was just staying present. Taking the time and the steps to appreciate all the little things that you have and all the little steps you take towards making that goal. You know, just take that time to look at those little positive things, those little victories that will keep you going. Like, if it's a really bad day for me, I will just feel glad about myself being able to get out of bed, or just being able to make breakfast and eat breakfast. Like, that is such a little thing, and on good days that's like, you know, normal. Everyone should be having breakfast. Everyone should be having breakfast. It's important. But if you can't, that's okay. But being able to just savor that you were able to do something that was really tough for you to do, it's like motivation for you to stay positive. Just taking the time to focus on those things. A lot of people just kind of overlook it and they downplay it themselves. They're like, God, I'm so pathetic, or oh my gosh, like, I'm so terrible at doing this, or comparing yourself to someone else. Oh my God, that's the worst. Like, comparing yourself to someone that's like doing great. You can't do that, you know, like, they're not on the same level, and maybe their definition of success and being happy is different than yours. So you've got to find that yourself, and again, just take victories in those little things just for yourself. Just staying present and feeling good about what's happening now, I feel like is something that I have definitely done. I feel like I took so many things for granted when things were normal, but able to just look back on it now and, you know, reflect on how things are now instead, I've been able to just feel grateful about, you know, being able to go outside and go for a walk and staying safe and a lot of these things. So just staying present has really helped myself feel grounded and not, you know, going crazy thinking about all the negative things that might be happening in this world. So next, I don't know, I was thinking maybe talking about the most important parts of a mental glow up. And these are the steps that I personally took to help myself and that I continue to take, you know? It's like a continuous effort. It's not something that will stay. You're gonna have to keep putting effort, keeping yourself motivated and positive. It's an ongoing process. It's a lot of work, but it really does pay off in the end, and I think it's really worth it. And so just important parts of having mental glow up, I'd say the first thing that I tried to do was figure out my priorities. I'm in my senior year of high school, so there was a lot of stuff around making sure my education in school was on track with everything, looking forwards towards university, and just, you know, personal life stuff as well, and working on myself. So I had to figure out my priorities. And it's definitely really tough because you have to ask yourself a lot of questions, questioning your morals, questioning your values and what's important to you. But it's definitely something that I feel like helps you set your goals and stay organized for what you want to spend time doing and what actually brings you joy. For me, I know I definitely had to work through what exactly I wanted to focus on, what exactly took up my time and actually helped me feel happy and feel good about myself. I was able to learn from, I think, past years, and again during quarantine when everyone was sad and stuck inside at home, I was able to figure all that stuff out. So I feel like that is one of the big first steps that you need to take. The second thing I tried to do was staying organized. So once you figure out your priorities, you're able to figure out the time you want to spend for certain things and what exactly you want to do, how you're going to work towards your priorities, and that goes with the next step, which is setting goals. So I think all these three are interconnected. Figure out your priorities, then set your goals, and then stay organized to keep achieving those goals. Short-term goals, long-term goals, just anything you want to get done, because that can be used as motivation for yourself and for you to, you know, look forward to the future, know that this is what I want to get done. I know how much joy and happiness this gives me because this is something I prioritize, so I'm going to stay organized to work towards it. I hope that kind of makes sense. So like, for example, one for me was this YouTube channel, for example, Sojo Videos. I started it I guess it's been almost exactly a year ago that we were consistently uploading. It was definitely something that I wanted to do, and it's also something that I had to do for school, so it was on top of there for priorities, and my goal was to actually just get 100 subscribers by the end of 2020. But mostly the goal was just to put out videos, but just, you know, a small goal for myself as well. And I was able to not only achieve that goal, but blow past it. That feeling that I got was just this giant sense of achievement, and being able to do something that I thought was so hard to do, just being able to do it, it felt so good. It felt so motivating. I just felt so happy about it. That made me want to set more goals and work towards more things in the future. Putting all that work into achieving one thing, it's gonna snowball into this giant lump of, you know, happiness and success. It definitely sounds a little sugar-coated there, because there's definitely gonna be tumbles and a lot of obstacles along the way. But again, long term, all the stuff you get done, it's just so worth it. Those, I think, are the really important parts of having a mental glow up. And just talking a little bit more about staying organized, I definitely spent like the last 2 years of high school figuring out how to stay organized, how to stay on top of my tasks, how to plan. And it sounds really nerdy and really try hard, but it's honestly helped me a lot. It's kind of a routine that I'm used to now. I just want to share that with you guys because hopefully it can help you. So one big thing that I used was Todoist. So Todoist is a like task kind of to-do list app. And obviously there's a lot of other apps and resources that you can use, but this is just the one that I use and that has worked for me for like the last 2 or 3 years. For Todoist, you're able to do a lot of things, and some things that like really good practice to do is to plan out what you want to do for the day, and you're able to set like mini tasks, and that way you're able to set your goals for the day and also figure out what goals you want to set in the future. You're able to keep track of what needs to get done and what you have gotten done throughout the day, and it gives, I guess, a sense of achievement, you know, when you tick off that task that you wanted to do, and it's just a little bit more motivating to get the next thing done. A lot of people are like, oh, the time it takes to plan out your day or plan out your schedule feels like a waste of time, or I'm too lazy to do it. It takes 5 seconds to type in a task that you want to do, whether it be to do your chores, to do your homework. It takes 5 seconds to type that in and have that there for you to see. Having it for you to see and keeping track of it will allow you to just keep a mental reminder, but also a visual reminder that this is something I need to get done, and it just bothers you that that thing is still there and it's not checked off. You get a sense of accomplishment when you're finished, and again, motivation. I feel like those are 2 words I say quite a lot, but I guess they're really key qualities in, you know, getting a true mental glow up. Some technicalities of Todoist I really like, this might be different for other to-do list apps or keeping a to-do list, is you're able to sort things into projects, so you're staying even more organized. Like I sort out my tasks between the different classes I have at school and specific things like YouTube, or if I'm trying to write scholarships. You're also able to set priorities for your to-do list, so you get to know what you need to get done first and what's more important. Again, like you can use other resources. I know I started off for to-do list was writing it down in a journal, but then I figured having an app was a bit easier to use, just so I could go from my laptop to my phone. I didn't have to bring a book around, and writing took a little bit longer for me. But if that's your thing, do that, because that is definitely a good way to do to-do lists as well. And my other thing that I like to do is keeping a calendar. So it kind of goes hand in hand with the to-do list, but I use my calendar to keep track of important events or important due dates, and just having a more long-term view of what's to come. So I usually like just look at the whole month. Some people I know use Google Calendar to schedule out their days with time and use that as their to-do list. You could do that too. Personally, I feel like setting times for tasks makes me feel really rushed and limited, and I don't really like that because I'm pretty good at self-regulating my own time, so I don't do that. But if that's your thing, go ahead and do it. I know it works for some people. It's just nice to have a calendar so you're able to plan things, stay organized, not miss anything important. Google Calendar, I think, is a really good thing to use. You can color code your things. You can make different calendars for different events. If you're leading a club, for example, you're able to make a calendar that everyone can share. But yeah, again, if you have a physical calendar you want to use, use that too. That's really nice, having a planner. Feel like I'm a teacher telling you this at the beginning of classes when school first starts. I think it's something that's really important and it's helped me a lot. Being able to set up this kind of organizing and planning system for yourself, it takes a long time, not only to plan it, but to get used to it. This process of me telling you this, all that I've learned and why I think it helps me, it took like half a year to just get into a routine of doing this and being comfortable with planning out my days and, you know, figuring out all my shit basically. It's definitely well worth it in the end. To me, it's just second nature when I'm planning out like my weekends, for example. I gotta get this done. I was able to find so much more free time for myself and to spend with other people because I was able to get things done. I kept grades up in school. I was able to get involved in school as well. Like, it just betters everything around you and, again, your own sense of accomplishment and self-worth. It's all just part of that mental glow up, you know, feeling good about yourself and getting things done and succeeding, and also, you know, being happy. Whatever that means to you. And I think in the future, like, it's still something that you can continue to work on, still work towards bettering. For me, I know I use to-do lists and Google Calendar, but recently I've been hearing a bunch of stuff, whether it be on TikTok or from my friends, using something called Notion. And oh my god, that app looks scary. I don't know if anyone else thinks this, but that app looks terrifying. I remember trying it out and I was like, I don't know what to do. Some people I saw on TikTok post like crazy templates, is that what they're called? And they like look really, really nice. They're putting in their class notes, they're putting in a to-do list, they're putting in like a calendar. Like, I was like, oh my god, it feels really overwhelming. But that's something that I want to try getting because I feel like, from what I've heard, it's a really good organizational tool and it's all on one app and it honestly looks really pretty. So maybe in a future video I can tell my journey about figuring that out because I will be doing that soon. So if you want to see me struggle to learn what the heck Notion is, comment down below. Wrapping up the video, you know, I just again want to talk about just staying motivated and just finding that motivation because I feel like that's one of the biggest things people struggle with. It's really, really tough, but all the stuff that I talked about previously in the video definitely helps with feeling and staying motivated. And again, it's okay to not feel that, you know? There's no need to feel that all the time. It's impossible to feel that all the time. You're gonna have those slow days or multiple days at a time where you just can't get things done, you don't feel good, you just want to sleep all day. And you gotta tell yourself that it's okay for that to happen. It's okay to take breaks. Taking breaks is important, but then eventually you're gonna have to get up on your feet and start getting things done. Even when things seem hopeless, you gotta just keep working towards it and just know in your heart that you are working towards something and that things are going to change. For me, little steps like going outside, going on walks, spending time on my YouTube channel, which was something I really enjoyed and was really passionate about, helped me take those bigger steps into, okay, now I gotta put time into my schoolwork, now I gotta put time towards other important things. Just finding and exploring passions as well. Like if you're really into art, if you're into music, use those things as motivation to get things done. Me time is really important. And, you know, I think it's like kind of overlooked. I talk actually a lot about staying motivated, staying organized, especially as a student, in a podcast called Real Talk, hosted by Valreal. You can find him at twitch.tv/Valreal. I was on his a few weeks ago, so you can also check that out if you want to hear me talk about basically what I talked about in this video for like 2 hours. But I think we talked about a lot of really important things on that podcast, and I don't know, I hope this video was also something that can help you. If you want to see more of like this kind of one-to-one talks and advice giving in the future, again, let me know in the comments and ask me questions too. I'll be answering stuff, and subscribe if you liked, and if you haven't subscribed already, it really does help us a lot. And again, I just want to thank you, if you're even still watching, for all the support that you guys give. It's been really, really motivating for myself, and I've been able to have this mental glow up, and it's partially thanks to you guys. And make sure to leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it. And I think that brings us to the end. Hopefully this can help you guys in your mental glow ups. And I just talking about my own journey, it's gonna look different for everyone, but I was hoping I could give some sort of advice or some sort of inspiration for, you know, people who need it, because I definitely needed it at one point. And if I can give back to you guys something that you need, you know, I'm gonna do that. I want to help. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!